Sort is a really powerful command. It is used, as its name suggests, to sort text. And because we are all the time dealing with text and text files, I think that everyone can guess by now that whenever you provide a text file to sort, it would display as output this text file with its lines sorted in some way. So the default way is to sort the text by its lines, so not by words or characters. It's sorting by lines, and it's using lexicographical way of sorting by default, and you can change this sorting strategy or sorting way using flags. For example, you can sort also numerically, and you can also, using flags, change the results to be displayed in reverse and so on. So there are many options that you can use, many flags this time, and we've used other tools till now, and some of them had only a couple of options, and sort is one of those tools that has many options. I haven't used all of them, not even most of them, but we will only use 4 flags in all the tasks. I think there are like 6 or 7 tasks. I haven't looked at all of them. Soon see the challenges on the website, but first let's go to the man page and let's take a look at those flags and descriptions so we can have a better picture of what sort is used for and what can we do with sort. So let's open man on sort, and first we see that it is used to sort lines of text files, so the thing that we've mentioned so far, and I think it's something that we would expect. If a tool is called sort, it should be used for sorting. And here we see all those flags like -b, -d, and so on, but we don't care about any of them. The first flag that we care about is -n. So we change sorting from lexicographical sort to numerical sort using -n. Compare according to string numerical value. That's the thing that we would definitely want. And the other thing is capital or uppercase R. We don't care about this, some random sort. And lowercase r is for reverse the result of comparison. So that's the one that we care about. -n and -r are the first two. And what next? As you can see, there's really a lot of them. We also K. Yeah, we also care about -k. I think that's the one that we will use. And it is used, for example, if you have multiple sentences in your text and you want to sort each line, each sentence with, let's say, by its second word. Then you can use this -k flag. Or maybe you are sorting some CSV file or some other file with data. Then you could specify which column is important for sort, and so on. So that's another flag that we care about, -k. And the last one is -t, and it is used to specify the delimiter. So we've already done a couple of tasks where we should where we change the default delimiter for a given tool, and let's say from space or from new line to some other delimiter. And for those tasks, for some of those tasks on sort, we will also need this. So -t this time is used to do it. Till now, for example, with read, we used -d for the limiter. This time it's called -t, probably because -t is already reserved for something else. So same purposes of flags, or flags serving same purpose, could be named differently in different tools in Unix and Bash. So that's something to keep in mind whenever you are learning the tool, that maybe there is something that you are already familiar with, but it's simply called, it simply has another name. Let's quit the man page and let's do some examples. Let's use echo with -e flag because we want to display multiple lines. For sort, because sort is sorting our text by lines. And let's simply display maybe ABC first. Not minus, /n for new line. A, B, and C. And so we have A, B, and C on separate lines. And now we can provide this with pipe to not to echo to sort. And it's still APC because it's already sorted. Sort didn't do anything, but if I would change it a little bit with A to C, B to A, and C to B, then we are still getting ABC. Also, sort works properly the way it is supposed to work. It's sorting the lines. And if I would do 1, 2, 3 like this, it should also sort it the same way, 3 to 1. So it works with normal characters, like with letters and so on, and it also works with numbers. And for more complicated examples, we would need more text, and it's not really that easy to do it directly in the terminal. So I think that we will simply see the tasks on the website. There are many of them, so we should see enough examples. But for now, the thing that we should keep in mind is sort has many flags, many ways in which you can tell it specifically what you want to do, how you want to sort your files. And the flags that we care about for now are for -r for -n for numerical sorting, -r for reverse sorting, and what was there, -t for a different delimiter, and the last one was -k for specifying the field. So if you want to sort by specific word in a sentence. Those are the 4 flags that we want that we will use in those challenges. So let's see the challenges now. The first challenge. In this challenge, we practice using the sort command to sort input in text or DSV formats. Given a text file, order the lines in lexicographical order. So lexicographical order is this default one. That's the way the sort performs sorting without any flags. And input format is text file, output format, output the text file with the lines reordered in lexicographical order. I think that's reasonable. So we are getting some text, we are sorting the text using sort, and we are displaying the sorted result. And here is some example. As usual, they are giving such huge examples that it's not really possible to read everything. But we can see that there are some names here and some dates, like Dr. Rajendra Prasad as Radhakrishnan. Yeah, they couldn't make it less complicated, I guess. And in output, in the first line, we still see Rajendra Prasad. The second line is also the same. The third is the same. But in the fourth line, there is some difference. So Varahagiri, I hope that I'm not mispronouncing it. For sure I'm mispronouncing it. was swapped with Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. Yeah, so Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad and no, they weren't swapped. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad got the place of Varahagiri, but Varahagiri was moved till the end. So there was some sorting definitely here. We won't go into details. This is too complicated for me, those names. And I think they should provide a smaller and simpler example so everyone can see with their eyes that it is sorted. But let's assume that they sorted it properly. Let's use sort for sorting and no flags because they wanted simple lexicographical sort. So sort with no flags should suffice. Let's see if it's working correctly. And this time we got everything green. So let's go to the sort command 2. Sort command 2. So in this challenge, we practice using the sort command to sort input in text or TSV formats. Given a text file, order the lines in reverse lexicographical order, i.e. Z to A instead of A to Z. So the only thing that they changed from the previous task. They want us to reverse the sorting. So it's still lexicographical sorting, the default one, and this time we want to reverse the result. So we are using -r flag, and it should work. Everything is fine. Let's submit the code, and it works perfectly. Let's see the third task. Here they changed the text a little bit. In this challenge, we practice using the sort command to sort input in text or TSV formats. You are given a text file where each line contains a number. The numbers may be either an integer or have decimal places. There will be no extra characters other than the number or the new line at the end of each line. Sort the lines in ascending order so that first line holds the numerically smallest number of the default way to sort things, and the last line holds the numerically largest number. And here is an input, a lot of numbers, like floating point numbers and integers as well. And output seems sorted. So first is 2, then 2.1, 2.2, and so on. And the last one is 6.6. So this time, instead of sorting lexicographically, we sort numerically. So we use -n. Congratulations, everything is fine. Let's go to the next task. And next is sort command 4. And it's the same task as the previous one, so sorting numerically, but they've already bolded it that they want descending order instead of ascending. So you are given a file of text where each line contains a number, and so on and so forth. There will be no extra characters other than the number or the new line at the end of each line. Sort the lines in descending order such that the first line holds the numerically largest number and the last line holds the numerically smallest number. And this time 66.6 is the first. So it's ordered not from the smallest to the largest. It's from the largest to the smallest, and the smallest one is 2. So we want to reverse our numerical sort. So we use -n and -r. It works perfectly. Now the fifth task. You are given a file of text which contains temperature informations about American cities in TSV tab-separated format. The first column is the name of the city, and the next 4 columns are the average temperature in the months of January, February, March, and April. Rearrange the rows of the table in descending order of the default one of the value for the average temperature in January. So January, February, March. So January is the first. Is the first month for which we see the temperature. Here is our example, but it's the second column. So the first column we have the place like Albany, Asheville, Atlantic City, and so on. There are multiple cities, and they want to sort it by temperature, and not in ascending order, in descending order. So it's not the default one, it's that. So sort. First, we will specify the column named. It's second column. So -k for the field, and 2 for the second. And we want to reverse it. So -r and numerical sort, because we are dealing with floating point numbers. So we want numerical sort, and -r because we want descending order, not ascending. And -t, this time we have to change the default delimiter to tab, because they've mentioned that those files are tab separated. So we change the delimiter to not new line to tab. And we've already mentioned, we've seen it in the man page, that -t is used to specify the delimiter. So let's run the code and see if it is everything that they wanted, and it works fine. So that's the most complicated task, I think, in this section. Multiple flags that you should understand, but I think that is still doable and still understandable. There were already harder problems that we've managed to solve, so it should also be understandable. And now is the 6th task, and it's similar to the previous one. You are given a file of tab-separated weather data, TSV. There is no header column in this data file. The first 5 columns of this data are the name of the city, the average monthly temperature in January in Fahrenheit, the average monthly temperature in April, the average monthly temperature in July, the average monthly temperature in October, and so on. You need to sort this file in ascending order of the second column. So the same task as the previous one. Only thing is that we don't need to reverse the order of sorting, so let's simply write it. We want the second field, and we want to sort numerically, and we are changing the delimiter to tab. Let's open the code. That was the 6th task, and now the 7th. And now you are given a file of pipe delimited weather data. It's still TSV, shouldn't it be PSV or something? There is no header column in this data file. The first 5 columns of this data are the name of the city, the average monthly temperature, and so on. So what they changed is, instead of the data being separated by tabs, is now separated by pipes. And you need to sort this file in descending order. So the reverse order. The ascending is the default and descending is the reversed. Let's do it. Maybe we can see the example as well, because it's a bit different. The same example, I think. No, is it not? Or is it? Yeah, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same. I'm not sure. The cities look similar. And I think the temperatures as well. The only difference, I guess, is that there are no tabs. Instead, we see those straight lines, so-called pipes. So let us do it the way we've done it till now. And now for the delimiter, we are using pipe instead of tab. Let's solve the task. And that's it for this time.